Cyber friends, it's the Midi Man coming back at you from Walker's Music with yet another word for the day. I ain't been too long, got in from choir rehearsal. I had a choir rehearsal tonight, and when I got back, I had a message about how would I handle, how do I deal with arrogant musicians. And Brother Thomassan17 from YouTube, he posed a question. He posed a question, and I just wanted to come back at you, Brother Thomassan, and to let you know, first giving an honor to God, and matter of fact, I'm a little bit kind of a little weird around the edges after a choir rehearsal, but nevertheless, we gonna still give God the praise and give God the glory and honor. We thank Him for as well as it is, and giving a shout out to the YouTube family, Baby Justice, all the way to Big Papa JT, Mama JT. You know the routine. But in reply, Brother Thomassan, to your question about arrogant musicians and how do I deal with them, well, first of all, bro, let me be the first to admit that most of my career as a church musician, I have been the soul musician. So I never had to deal with, I never had to deal per se with musicians in my arena as far as the churches that I am actively employed, rather, as being the minister of music, in other words, because like I say, I was the soul musician. And being the soul musician, I didn't have to deal with, outside musicians. I only to a limited degree. Whereas sometimes guests would come in, and guest musicians, they would come in, and I would try to make everything as comfortable for them as I possibly could. I mean, no matter what it is, or to get them water, drink, whatever it needed, and whatever I could do for them to make it comfortable and make their stay enjoyable, I tried to do for them. For guest musicians that came to the various churches where I am employed. Just recently at my second Sunday church, we got a drummer. Actually, he was already drumming, because I only play for this church on the second Sunday, and the church is second and fourth Sunday, but I'm not able to be with them on fourth Sunday because I have an obligation somewhere else. But this guy was drumming for them, and so he was able to come in and drum for me on my particular Sunday, on second Sunday. And so, but I've had no problem with him, because I treat him, he's a younger guy. Matter of fact, his dad's a drummer. I know his dad through the group that I used to be a part of, and part owner of, and his dad was drumming. He was my drummer, and he's, like I say, he's a younger guy. I have no problem with him because I treat him with respect, like I want to be treated with respect. In other words, just like I would want anybody else to do me, I treat him the same way. He's a musician. Just because the fact that I'm the keyboard player and I teach the choir, that doesn't make me more of a musician than him. He's a drummer. He's a musician, just like I am. So I'm going to treat him with the same mutual respect. Now, even to the point I don't know whether this guy have any singing abilities or not. As a matter of fact, I have not asked him. I have not asked him that, but if he did, and if he had something that he wanted to say within the choir rehearsal, he's free to say it. I have no monopoly on God's choir. I'm just a servant. That's what I am. I don't know about nobody else now. I'm a servant. In other words, I welcome any kind of help I can get from anyone that knows what they're doing. Arrogant, I've seen a lot of it, Brother Thomassan. I've seen a lot of it, but I've not had to deal with it per se myself, because, like I said, being a soul musician. But I have seen it come in from the outside, and I've seen the way some of them they act. But the way I deal with it, I just still treat them with respect, and I honor them, even though I can see the arrogance in them, and I still treat them with respect, because that's the way I want to be treated. And I try to say certain things, maybe as to I could get them to see, you know, I could maybe try to get them to see their error. Maybe, man, you need to tone it down a little bit. And by my action, in other words, by the way I show them how I act, even though, like I say, they might be a better musician than I am. But yet and still, I show them the way I respond to people and how I act to other people. And maybe that will show them that, okay, maybe I need to tone it down just a little bit. Because, see, Brother Thomassan, I'm like this here. I don't care who you are. I don't care. I mean, I've been to school. I mean, I know I wasn't a performance major, but I was theory and composition. But I did have to know how to play some. So after 30 years, I still, you know, I know how to play a little bit, but there are some guys out there that can play circles around me. But you know what, Brother Thomasson? I'm not in competition with no one. I enjoy when I can see other musicians that's good at their craft, good at their skill. I can sit back all day and just watch them and just listen and just learn and soak up some of that info. I don't have to be the one at the keyboard. I don't have to be the one at the keyboard. So with your question, the way I would deal with them, I say it like this here. If I did have musicians under me in my churches, as far as other keyboard players or whatnot, I think I would do the same thing. I would just live by example. I would show them by example by the way I would act. In other words, if the pastors come to me and ask me something about whether he want the choir to do this, do that, I would have to show those musicians by my action the way I respond to the pastor. Not in an arrogant tone like, well, this is my choir. I mean, you know, musicians that feel that way, they are very, very puffed up anyway because, see, first of all, it's not your choir. It's the church choir. Matter of fact, in other words, the pastor is the leader. Pastor is the head of the church, point blank. He's the under shepherd. That's the one that Christ got placed there as over everything. See, that's what I try to tell some of the musicians in this area. You are not above the pastor. No one is. Deacons, no one. The pastor is in charge. And that's the way he should be treated, as the one that's in charge. With respect and honor. You may not agree with everything. I mean, if everybody agreed, then somebody's head is unnecessary. If you agree with everything, you may not agree, but nevertheless, he's still the pastor. So, in other words, if you get to the place to where if me and the pastor, we just cannot see eye to eye with a certain thing, then it's time for me to leave. I will be the one. I will pack up and leave because, like I said, he is the pastor. Now, can the pastor be wrong? Of course he can. But so can the musician. See, this is what the thing about it. See, everybody can be wrong. And the way I would deal with the arrogance of musicians is, and I'm going to go and try to cut this video off, I don't want to get too long, is I would just live by example. I would show them how not to be arrogant, how to not be, to think you all of that in a bag of chips. Because, see, I'm going to tell you something to all those musicians out here. All of us, I don't care how your chops are. There's always somebody that's a little cut above. There's always somebody that's a little bit of cut above you. You may think you all that and God give to the planet. But see, when God made Jerry Lee Lewis, he also made Dino Carcinakis. When God made Elvis, he also made Michael. So in other words, you know, when we get to think that we are all that in a bag of chips, and that we get to the place where we get in these churches, there's some musicians, and we want to throw our weight around because we can play. You know, we got certain musicians, they get paid various amounts of money, and I don't want to go into that because you don't muzzle out the tread out the corn. But you got musicians that are allowed to do anything in the church because just so they will come and play on a particular Sunday. Live any kind of way, do any kind of thing, but just because they can play some runs and whatnot, they're allowed to come in, they hop in the box, they play a song, they hop out the box, they go outside and smoke cigarettes or whatever they want to do, whatever. And they're allowed to do this thing and don't have teacher choir, don't have rehearsal, they come in late, they don't have any respect for the choir members and stuff like that, and they are allowed to do that because they're what? They are afraid that they may lose this musician. Well, Brother Thomasson, I will pray for that musician to the best of my ability, but me, if I were, in other words, in some churches I know the minister of music is in charge of hiring and firing. That's part of the job too. Sometimes that be left to the minister of music in various churches. It's not so in this area where I am, because a lot of people, I don't think, they really understand and know the meaning of a minister of music. I really don't believe they understand that. But if I were in charge of being the one to hire and the firing of musicians, a musician like that, after I have talked to him or her and warned them about, hey, we don't need to do it like this, people. Come on now, we need to do this. I would ask them in a nice way, and we'll, to not carry on in this here fashion, and let's come on now. We got rules and regulations that we must go by. And if after a second warning they did not adhere to the rules and the regulations and the wishes of the pastor of that church, because the minister of music is on the pastor, he worked with the pastor, and if they still didn't do it, then I would have to let them go. And I wouldn't do it in a condescending way. I wouldn't do it out of anger. I wouldn't do it out of jealousy. But I would just do it out of responsibility. Look, you are not adhering to the rules and the regulations of the church or the pastor, so you're going to have to go. And I think that's the way I would handle that situation. Because, in other words, Brother Thomassan, that's the way I would want to be treated. In other words, I would want to be treated the same way. I wouldn't want to just come in there and hop in the box and hop out the box and do like I want to do. And I just do any kind of thing just because I can play a few wrong. And then the pastor's supposed to put up with my mess and let me do anything. And then the church pay me for 15 minutes of playing on a given Sunday and pay me $600, $700, $800. And I don't have teacher choir, I don't have come to rehearsal. And when I do come, I'm late, and then I'm leave early. No, I don't think that's right. And I know, Brother Thomasson, we do have something like that. I must admit it. But I would try to handle them in love, considering my own self as being a musician, because that's the way I would want to be treated. But after that, then, if they couldn't adhere to the rules, then I would have no other choice but to let them go. That being said, this is Mitty Man saying peace. Good question, Doc. Goodbye.